Hello and welcome. My name is Jerry Stevens from the PJJ Teknik Informatika program at Binus Online. In this video, I'll be talking about responsive web design, what it is, why it matters, and the core techniques behind it. This is part of my community service activity, and I hope you find this video useful. Let's get started. Before we dive in, let me quickly go over what you'll learn by the end of this video. First, you'll be able to define what responsive web design is and explain why it's important in modern web development. Second, you'll understand the key differences between a responsive and non-responsive website. Third, you'll get familiar with three core techniques: fluid grids, flexible images, and media queries. And fourth, you'll see real examples of responsive design working in action. So, what exactly is responsive web design? In simple terms, it's the web design approach that makes a website automatically adjust its layout and content to fit any screen size, whether that's a large desktop monitor, a tablet, or a small phone. The concept was introduced by Ethan Marcotte back in 2010, and now it's considered a fundamental standard in web development. Responsive web design is built on three main pillars. The first is fluid grid. Instead of using fixed pixel width, layouts are built with percentages so they can flex and adapt. The second is flexible images. Images are set to scale within their containers, so they never overflow or break the layout. And the third is media queries. These are CSS rules that let you apply different styles depending on the screen width. We'll look at these in more detail shortly. You might be wondering, why does this even matter? Can't we just build one desktop version and call it a day? Well, consider this. Over 60% of web traffic worldwide now comes from mobile devices. That means more than half of the people visiting a website are using their phones. If a website isn't responsive, those users will see tiny, hard to read text. They'll need to zoom and scroll horizontally, and they'll likely leave the site almost immediately. That's what we call a high bounce rate. On top of that, since 2024, Google uses mobile-first indexing for all websites. That means Google primarily looks at the mobile version of your site when deciding how to rank it in search results. A non-responsive site will rank lower. On the other hand, a well-designed responsive site adapts to any device, keeps users engaged, and ranks better on search engines. It's really a win on all fronts. Now, let's talk about the most important CSS tool for responsive design: media queries. A media query is a CSS rule that says, apply these styles only when the screen is a certain size. For example, you can say if the screen is at least 768 pixels wide, make the font bigger. Looking at the code example on the slide, at the base level, we set a font size of 14 pixels for mobile screens. Then using at media with minimum width of 768 pixels, we increase it to 16 pixels for tablets. And at 1024 pixels and above, we go up to 18 pixels for desktops. This approach is called mobile first, meaning we design for the small screen first, then progressively add styles for larger screens. It's the recommended modern approach. The specific screen width where the layout changes, like 768 pixels and 1024 pixels, are called breakpoints. These are the points where a design breaks into a new layout. Alongside media queries, two CSS layout tools are essential for building responsive designs: Flexbox and CSS Grid. Flexbox, or short for Flexible Box, is designed for one-dimensional layout. That means arranging elements either in a row or in a column. It's perfect for things like navigation bars, a row of cards, or centering an element on the page. With Flexbox, you just set display to flex on a container, and its child elements automatically line up side by side. If there's not enough space, they can wrap to the next line automatically. CSS Grid, on the other hand, is for two-dimensional layout, meaning it controls both rows and columns at the same time. It's ideal when you need full page layouts with headers, sidebars, and footers. In practice, you'll often use both together: Grid for the overall page structure and Flexbox for the smaller components inside it. And of course, you combine both with media queries to make everything responsive. Alright, let's see responsive design in action. I'm going to use Chrome DevTools to simulate how this website looks across different screen sizes. First, I'll open Chrome DevTools by pressing F12. This is a built-in browser tool that every web developer uses regularly. Now, I'll click on this icon here to activate device mode. This lets me simulate any screen size. From the drop-down at the top, I'll select iPhone SE. Notice how the layout immediately changes. The navigation collapses, the text reflows, and the full page adjusts to fit this small screen. Now, switching to iPad, a tablet size, the layout shifts again. You can see it's using a wider layout now compared to the phone, but still different from the full desktop. And if I switch to responsive mode and slowly drag the width, you can actually watch the breakpoints trigger in real time. That's the power of responsive design. One website, every screen. Alright, let's wrap things up. Here's a quick summary of what we covered today. The first one is that responsive web design is an approach that ensures your website looks and works well on any device, from desktop to phones. The three pillars of responsive web design are fluid grids, flexible images, and media queries. Flexbox and CSS Grid are the two main layout tools you'll use to build responsive interfaces. Mobile first is the modern standard. Start designing for small screens, then scale up. And lastly, responsive design directly improves user experience, reduces bounce rates, and helps your site rank better on Google. Here are the references I used for this video. All sources are listed on screen. I encourage you to check them out if you want to explore this topic further. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful.